Hey, Dennis Grunling here. I got a new thing going on. I'm going to be trying to upload some stuff on Fridays, and I am going into my own licks. I get so many requests asking me to transcribe my own licks from recordings or from a live show, which are always improvised, by the way, as I feel it should be with this music. But every month, in the membership section of the website, I do have over an hour's worth of performance videos. Some from current tours, either this year, last year, the past couple of years, and some from going back to the early 2000s. So I always have a mix of stuff. One, so you can hear live improvised music, especially on harmonica, the kind of stuff that I do, the kind of stuff that I teach, that I always talk about for my members and with my students. But I'm going to start breaking down some little things here and there, putting it up on YouTube on Fridays, and just because I get so many requests for this stuff, I figure it's about time I do it. So this one, I'm taking from a short clip from one of the solos in the membership section from the video archives this month, and I'll let you hear it right now. So the standout section for this one goes like this, and it's in the second bar of the 4 chord. So it's technically bar 6 leading into the 1 chord coming back in bar 7. So it sounds like this. This little section, though, I'm just going to break down really quick for you. But this is the kind of thing that I feel is a really neat transitional lick. Again, it's improvised, but I just broke it down for myself. It's always weird transcribing your own licks because my stuff is kind of hard to break down sometimes. All different combinations of techniques and approaches and dynamics and the way I use my hands to shape my tone and my overall sound, which makes a difference in how these sounds and techniques come across even. So it's a combination of all that stuff. But I want to break down not just the notes, but how I'm attacking them and how I'm playing them. So this little section I'm talking about. Okay, I'll play it back on the video and then I'll break it down. Okay, so I have a C harmonica. This is the key of G. I'm playing the second position, Nick Moss song, live with the band in the video. Of course, my Hohner crossover. These are my go-to harps, basically, but I love all the Hohner Marine Band style harps, the standard 1896 Marine Band, and of course the Marine Band Deluxe, which is great. I do play the crossovers probably most of all, and of course the Thunderbirds if I want a low-tuned harp, which is basically a low-tuned crossover. But this is a key of C harmonica. I'm using this one, second position, and remember this is the second bar now on the 4 chord. So technically bar 6 leading into bar 7 back to the 1. And I think that's kind of why it makes sense. I landed that last note on that downbeat basically right after the downbeat of the 1 chord. And it is a chord tone. So I'll break it down for you again right here. I'll do it a little slower and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm doing this thumb blocked, of course, like everything I do, and improvised like everything I do. You can't get these textures and these sounds if you're not thumb blocking it. You can sort of mimic it puckered, but it's not the same. So I'm vamping some of these notes here. I'm going to start with the 6th blow, and I'll give you the note pattern first, and I'll tell you how I'm attacking it with my tongue blocking and my tongue technique. So that's basically the single note pattern. 6th blow, 5 draw, 5 blow, 5 draw again to the 4 draw. But I am vamping most of those with a little tongue vamp, a little tongue slap, meaning I'm articulating each hit of the note, but I'm starting with my tongue off the harp so we hear a little chord, a little chuck right before each single note. It goes by really quick, but that's how you get those extra sounds to give a little extra punch to all these single notes. Again, I'll go slower. 6 blow, 5 draw, 5 blow, 5 draw to 4 draw. But then you add that tongue vamp there. Okay, that's the first half of that. Slow, it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Even faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so work with a metronome to get all this stuff down as well. Start slow, build up speed. The biggest issues and problems students have are trying to get it up to speed too quickly, too immediate. Work on it slow as long as it sounds right, and then you'll be able to build up speed in a couple days, no problem, and it will sound great. Try to build up speed too fast or too immediate, not going to work. If it gets sloppy, it's hard to undo the sloppiness. The second half of the lick, which ends up on a scoop on the 4 draw, which is part of the 1 chord. It's also just a great note that we use a lot in second position. So that's that whole lick. So I'm dirty 3. So that's the whole lick right here. I'm starting with a dirty 3 draw, slightly bend, almost a half step bend. And what I mean by dirty is I'm bleeding in a little bit of the next adjacent note, in this case, of course, the 4 draw. To the 4 blow. And I'm hitting the 4 draw bend after that. And I go to the 3 draw again, slightly bent. Then I scoop up on the 4 draw, a little dirty. And I bend the 4 draw again, go to the 3, and then another hit on the 4 draw dirty, scooped up to the release of the natural 4 draw, a little dirty. So that slightly dirty 3 draw half step bend to the 4 blow, to the 4 draw bend, to the 3 draw slightly bent, to the scoop on the 4 draw a little bit, back to the 3, and then another scoop where you're releasing it up to the natural 4 draw on that downbeat when it heads into that 1 chord, a little release of that tension we just built up. It's important that when you release that note all the way up, you stop pretty much right after you hit that note, or else it adds that kind of punch, some kind of conclusion to that. If you hang on it too long, it doesn't have the same effect. It won't be wrong, but it's not going to sound the same and have the same emotional, musical, melodic effect. So that's that lick again. I'll do it slow, and then I'll play it kind of, I guess, close to speed as much as I can remember. The whole thing slowed down sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Okay, now played close to speed, if I can remember the actual speed of this. It's 1, 2, 3. Okay, the groove may have been slightly off, but those are the licks right there from what I remembered. Remember, all the time you see me play and hear me play on these videos, in concert, live on stage, even on the records, it's improvised, and I am thumb blocking basically all of this stuff. So there's a little free taste there on Friday. Remember to be fearless. Once you tackle some of these licks, you spend a little time, it makes you feel fearless. And of course, you gotta feel a little fearless going in to learn some of these new things. A lot of times the hardest part to learning new things is just sitting yourself down, putting the harp down, listening to it, and figuring out just a few notes, a few patterns, a few phrases, and then all of a sudden, boom, it takes off. You learn something new and you add it to your repertoire. If you do that on a regular basis, nothing's going to stop you. Of course, every month in my membership section, I have a couple webinars with notes. For the VIPs on the snakeskin level, you have video lessons that go along with the webinars, as well as an extra vocab lesson, a practice lesson to help you build your vocab, get stronger with your improvisations, work on new ideas. 5 or 6 sets of jam tracks every month to jam along with. My old radio show archives that go along with all this stuff, and I handpick them for you from my old radio show. And I have playlists to go along with the webinars and extra bonus stuff for the VIP members. So check it out, and I'll see you next week. In case you didn't know, I run the BadAss Harmonica website that's got a membership section with new content each month. This month, webinars with Mark Wenner and my first third position webinar. Of course, video lessons for the snakeskin VIPs, a vocab lesson to help you improvise and learn how to practice better. Video archives each month, old and new, microphone gallery. Of course, website Q&As to learn from. Blues Harp history information, all types of playlists, videos, and jam tracks to play along with each and every month on the BadAss Harmonica website. Not only just learning licks, but you really want to learn how to think and practice better so you can truly play better like a real musician.